studying the International Criminal Court more specifically, and I'm looking at why states join the court or refuse to join the court, and more particularly trying to see whether there's anything about the enforcement mechanism in the court that may or may not influence states to join. So the theory, my theory anyway, is that the International Criminal Court is new and different in terms of the enforcement mechanism that we're talking about, in that there's an independent prosecutor, there's an independent court, where when states join, if there are the kinds of mass atrocities that we were talking about, war crimes, crimes against humanity, genocide, and the state itself refuses, is unwilling or unable to prosecute that, then the court and the prosecutor can mount its own case and try those people before the Hague. It's a new sort of enforcement mechanism because what I do is I compare it to the human rights treaties that Bob was talking about, where there is no, thus far, there's been nothing like this International Criminal Court in terms of, because it is a treaty-based court where states agree to this process. And other human rights treaties have, as Bob said, no actual enforcement power. They can't actually force states to do what they say. And in fact, most of the main treaties, the enforcement mechanism is limited to state reporting. And so as long as the state files some sort of report, they're done with their compliance. And then even the individual complaints that Bob was mentioning, there's only a few treaties that have the individual complaint procedure, and not all states are party to it. So there's an issue there as to who can take advantage of that. And in any event, the committee then is limited to simply recommending that the state take a particular action to resolve some sort of complaint that it had. So what I'm looking at is to see, and prior research has basically indicated that states will join these human rights treaties with these sorts of enforcement mechanisms where there is no legally binding power. They'll join them, and then many studies have suggested that states do not thereafter change their practices, and that many states with very bad practices join practices stay just as bad. So there's an indication that perhaps states view this enforcement mechanism as somewhat meaningless, and they join to look good. And so my question is really looking at, well, do states believe that the enforcement mechanism with the International Court is a new one and is more threatening than what has gone